Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And shalom to you sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning. And to you brothers preaching and teaching this truth to the four corners of the earth. This is Brother Nathan coming out of the GMS Indianapolis camp. Coming back with a quick one through the spirit. In transit on the way to camp. We get right into it. This is Psalms 55 and verse 22. It says, "Cast thy burden upon Yahweh by Shem Shah." And Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, which means he is or he exists. By Hashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai means he saves or he delivers, who the world calls Jesus Christ, right? All right, Yahweh by Shem Shai is in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, all right? The Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue. The small hatters, they call it the Lashon Kadesh, all right? But it's the Lashon Kodash, all right? Holy Tongue, all right? So cast thy burden upon Yahweh Shem Shai, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. And see, that's why you have to keep your faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. When you're going through things, you know, that's holding you back from this walk, whether it be your woman, your job, your own self, you know, being sluggard, you know, being low energy. You call upon Yahweh Shem Shai to fix these situations for you, man. See, when Jake get stuck in uncomfortable situations or basically just burdensome situations, Jake sometimes forget to pray, man. You know, you pray when it's good. You know, Thawadi Yahweh Shem Shai for allowing me to get this vehicle or get this new job or, you know, to understand this breakdown, right? But you got to remember to call on Yahweh Shem Shai in the time of your trouble as well. All right? Because remember, Yahweh Shem Shai wants us to what? It's like Thessalonians says, pray without ceasing, man. So every time you go out to do, you know, from A, B, C, D, whatever, you know, you're trying to get to, always remember to pray to Yahweh Shem Shai to, you know, show you favor in all your goings, man. Everything you're doing. Pray for that protection, you know. And he's got us. All right. You know, clearly, if you really zoom out and take a look at how your life and even how you got to this truth, and even before that, like, man, you're like, man, Yahweh Shem Shai has been with me this whole time, you know. You know, you delivered out of a lot of situations, man. The Lord be with you, man. But you can't get weak in the time of trouble, man. Scripture I was talking about what? Make not haste in the time of trouble, because they get to freaking out and, oh, well, maybe I should do this. But no, you just slow down, pray, fast, seek counsel, you know, via what? The men of the Lord, you know. And also, too, sometimes you be going through things and shit. Yahweh Shem Shai you'll get a notification, you know, a brother from across the world to do a video, you know, that's aimed right at you to help you get through whatever situation you're going through. So that's what goes into trusting Yahweh Shem Shai. But you have to make it known to him, though. You have to pray to him, let him know what you're going through. You know? He said he shall sustain thee. Hey, that's a good deal. You mean to tell me all we got to do is cast our burdens upon the Lord and he going to sustain us? You know? Hey, that's why it says it takes faith, man. It said without faith, it's impossible to please him. All right? Let's get oops, locked it. Yeah. Strong tower. Yeah, let me just get, I already know Proverbs 18 and 2. Let's get it. Or Psalms 18 and 2. Let me get, which one is it? Yeah, Psalms 18 and 2. This is Psalms chapter 18, verse 2. It says, Yahweh Shem Shai is my rock and my fortress. See, rock is what? Hard. right? It's strong, it's sturdy, built to last, made to last, right? And, it says, and my fortress, fortress is like, like some, let's say like a castle with all the walls and all the protection, well guarded, you know. That's Yahweh Shema Shai unto us. It says, and my deliverer. It says, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust. See? Look at this fucking people. These people cannot drive. Slack you. The little lady didn't even look over at all, just turned. I said, man, whatever. Slack you. It says, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust. My buckler, and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. It says, I will call upon Yahweh Shema Shai, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. And see? That's why you have to trust in the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. You have to call upon him. All right? Because we're entering in these evil, wicked times, man. We're on the brink of Jacob's trouble. It's happening. Starting with the northern kingdom and then trickle down to the Haitians of the southern kingdom, the so-called Haitians, which are Levi. All right, and you see that, this madness going on, man, because you got the cruel Lord, as spoken in Isaiah 19, Donald Trump, man. Through the Spirit, that's him. Because you see how he's going after the tribes, and then he's also talking about deporting, habitual offenders or high-level criminals. And we know who makes up majority of the jail population is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, looking to ship y'all to Sudan or El Salvador, Guantanamo Bay, or put you in one of these concentration camps, like Alligator Alcatraz, Which, mind you, that Alligator Alcatraz only took like 8 days to be made. So how much more they do that across the whole United States, man, in these major cities? It can happen. Okay. See, we're entering them times where Jake, you so-called niggas, Latino, and Native American, 2/3 of y'all acting like, oh, that can never happen. They would never do that. There's laws against that. I have rights. And then here it is. You see it all being taken away, destroyed right in your face, man. All right, but us of the hopeful elect, man, we're going to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai because we know that's where our strength lies. Our strength don't lie in my bow. Oh, let me see that. Trust in my bow. Let's get this real quick. Because you got a lot of these jakes, man, that are trusting in guns and I'm locking up ammo. They're trying to act like Esau, so-called white man. See, y'all learn from your oppressor, but you don't learn from Yahweh Shema Shai. That's the problem. That's why we're in the predicament that we are, because we'd rather follow after the other nations than follow after our true power, Yahweh Shema Shai. And they want to trust in idols and the philosophies of this world. It's Psalms 44 and verse 6. It says, for I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and has put them to shame that hated us. And who's that? Who was thou that saved us? It's Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, that's where our strength lies. That's where our salvation is set up. All right, this is where we're gonna knock down our enemies, man, through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth, man. And we ultimately know what that judgment is the Yahweh Shema Shai. He shall repay. All right. We ain't gonna get, we ain't gotta take up arms, and now it's okay if you have, have weapons to defend yourself, your household, your family, because, especially if it's legal, you follow the laws of the land, right? But we're not gonna take up arms to go take down the government, and nah, that's not the way it's set up. It's set up for Yahweh Shema Shai to deliver us, to save us, and bring us to salvation, and escape the said judgments, man, written. All right, like the thermonuclear destruction, the famines, all right, the pestilences, all the plagues that Yahweh Shema Shai is getting ready to lay down on this earth. All right, we're gonna be free from them because what? If you trust in Yahweh Shema Shai, and you see the separation, man, on who truly cares about the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, who truly cares about the Lord, man. We're seeing it. We're seeing who cares more about this world and wants this place to continue. All people in that mind are going to be destroyed. And that's really chiefly talking to you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? So you got to understand, hey, this ain't no small thing, okay? Let me get one more, because we got to remember, hey, serving the Lord is the best job on the earth, because it says what? This is Isaiah 65 and verse 13. Therefore, thus said Yahweh Shema Shai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink. I'll start up one. Therefore will I number, verse 12, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. How did he call? Through the men of the Lord. All right? Starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down, scattered through, as we're teaching this word through the four corners of the earth, and then guess what? The internet doing the heavy lifting, pushing it out, right? It says, did not answer, but when I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Right? Y'all decided to go with the lust of the flesh and do things and all this wickedness against Yahweh Shema Shai. Well, guess what? You're going to get destroyed. It says, therefore, thus said Yahweh Shema Shai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. See? So if you ain't serving Yahweh Shema Shai, you're going to get caught out there. The Lord is not going to deliver you. All right, you're gonna die of the famines. You're gonna die of the plagues. All right, and remember the second verse 9 talks about they shall all know it by death, by pain. That's what's about to happen. All right, because you didn't make Yahweh Shema Shai your refuge. You wanted to plant your roots down here like Esau Edom in America, Babylon the Great, and throughout where you're scattered. All right, you thought following after these other gods is the better way. After the truth was brought up to you, all right, to fix that. Well, I'm pulling up to the camp. So with that, I pray that was edifying to the elect, and I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Kwame Nasrallah.